Yeah, hi there, Ava. This is Michael Buckoff from BetterTOEFLScores.com. So, looks like you're taking one of my practice writing tests at Better TOEFL Scores for the TOEFL Writing Lesson 3 download page. So, let's take a look at the question first, and then we'll read your response. I'll give you some information, give you a score, and make some suggestions. So, the question is, some people say that physical exercise should be a required part of every school day. Other people believe that students should spend the whole day on academic studies. Which opinion do you agree with? Use specific reasons and details to support your answer. Your first paragraph. This essay aims to outline if physical exercise should be a required part of every school day or students should spend the whole day on academic studies. In order to show this, I will call upon examples from my own private life in order to support my thesis. No, not a good introduction there. It almost looks like some kind of a template that you've memorized, and you put this before the essay. This does not work. Stop doing this. Don't do that. Let's look at your second paragraph. My opinion is that exercise should be a required part of every school day because exercise is an important part of everybody's life. If one wants to be healthy physically and mentally, she or he must exercise every day. From my own experience, I had better results in school when I used to have physical exercise. Still, I'm in 2 paragraphs, and you still haven't explained what's going to happen in this paper. You need a sharply focused thesis. Think about it this way, Ava. Your writing is kind of like an upside down triangle. So let me see if I can demonstrate this for a minute here. Let me get a piece of paper here, show you what I'm talking about. Let's say like this. You see this? So at this part of the paragraph in the beginning, you include some general statements that are kind of related to the question, but not exactly. But as you get to the end of the first paragraph, you get to specifically what you want to do in your paper. That's your thesis statement. Now, you need to go back to TOEFL writing lesson number 1 and 2. And I think in those 2 lessons, I give you some information on how to begin, I think, your introduction along with a sharply focused thesis, which you're not doing right now. So, I don't know, we get to your third paragraph. I can't believe it. We're at the third paragraph, but we're just now getting into some specifics. You say, first, one of the world's #1 problems in the past years is overweightness. Okay, what you need to do here is say, first of all, making physical exercise part of the school day will help reduce the number of obese children in school. You need to take the topic sentence and connect that back to what the writing assignment is. So you haven't really done that. You're basically making a statement here. The #1 world problem in the past years is overweightness. How you defend that? The purpose of the topic sentence, especially with argumentative writing, is to make an assertion and then in the rest of the paragraph to defend that assertion. An assertion means you make a claim. That's why I say is physical exercise should be required because it can help reduce the number of obese kids in schools. That's an assertion. I now must defend why that's true and show how physical exercise can help reduce the number of people in school. You're not doing that. You set up the topic sentence as a fact, and you can't really defend a fact, and you don't really have an argument. So then you say in the rest of the paragraph, this leads to cardiovascular diseases, lots of mental diseases, and big problems with self-esteem. Young people have lots of problems during the day in school, private problems and so on. Still, you still have not made any claim that you have to defend. Finally, you get to your claim. You say, if they don't have physical exercise, they will not release all that stress. Some students will try to find comfort in food, and some in drugs and other in violence. So the problem is you're doing it backwards. You're putting your assertion at the end of the paragraph instead of putting it at the beginning. But if you put it at the end, there's no way to really defend it. So you don't have enough adequate supporting detail to help defend why you think that physical exercise will help reduce stress, and it'll help solve problems that they might be having in school. All right, let's go to the next paragraph. Sport can help young people to learn how to deal with obstacles in their lives. One can learn how to be a team player, to respect friends and superiors. Again, why are you including this? You're just making a statement. You're saying sports can help young people. You're making kind of some obvious things here, but what if you said, another reason why physical exercise should be required in schools is it can help young people learn how to deal with obstacles in their lives. And then you explain why you have made that statement. You say if one is training every day, he or she will be physically healthy. And we all know how that is important for young students. If one gets a habit of exercise every day while one is young, he or she will not have all those mentioned serious diseases. In addition, more people have a healthier and fulfilled life. My belief is that only sport can instill the above-mentioned life values in a young people's life. No! This paragraph has a lot of problems. Here, you talk about obstacles in the beginning and becoming a team player, respecting friends and superiors, but then the rest of the paragraph, you talk about the health aspects of being healthy and losing weight. So this paragraph is not connected together very well. Ava, it's kind of like you have a paragraph, you have apples, you have oranges, you have bananas in there. Now you're talking about automobiles and then maybe dogs. You have just too many different ideas going on in there without enough adequate supporting detail to help develop those things, that at the very end you say, my belief is that only sport can instill these life values in a young people's life. What is that? You're talking about dealing with obstacles in the beginning of the paragraph, then you're talking about being healthy, and then you're bringing up this idea of life values. The TOEFL is going to kill you. Trust me. You need to rethink what you're doing here. Go back to TOEFL writing lesson 1 and 2. With the lesson that you posted this on, look at some of the sample essays and you'll see how organized they are. Okay, so at the very end you say, in conclusion, physical exercise is important like mathematics, English, and other subjects while students are in school. An old Greek proverb is the best answer for this question. In a healthy body, a healthy spirit. Not bad, but I'm going to be honest with you, this is a disaster. So on a scale of 0 to 5, you're probably looking, I don't know, 2.5 to maybe 3.0. On the TOEFL, probably 15 to 17 points. Not very organized. Your first paragraph doesn't fit at all. I would never use that paragraph again. Think of beginning your essay maybe 50 to 150 words. Think about this idea that I was showing you here about the upside down triangle. So you think about the question and you think about schools, right? And you might begin your essay with something like this. You might say, right now in a lot of countries, the economies aren't so good. And schools need to dedicate as much funding as possible to their university or academic studies. So there's a question. What role does physical exercise have in the day of students? And should it be a required part of that? So, kind of start off making some bigger statements and then kind of narrow that down to specifically why you think physical exercise should be a required a part of every school day, and specifically in the thesis give specific reasons. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. Don't say it should be required for several reasons and I will outline these in the rest of the paper. No, don't do that. You want to personalize your speech. The problem with the first paragraph the essay aims to outline is the tone doesn't match the rest of your paragraphs. You start off with a really, really formal tone. It's almost like you're writing a research paper. You say, I will call upon examples from my own private life. This essay aims to outline. So you start off really, really formal. And then the next paragraph you say, my opinion is. So the tone in that one paragraph doesn't match the rest of the paragraphs. I think an informal tone is appropriate for this type of writing. So, those are my suggestions on that. So anyway, thank you for posting your response. And I hope that I've given you some good suggestions that maybe can make your essay move better or higher the next time.